Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe that I'm saying this right now. I think my last video was literally like 2 years ago, which is absolutely insane, but I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I genuinely thought that I'd be taking a break from YouTube. I never thought that God would switch up the plans, which yeah, I knowing God, he'd be like that, he'd be doing that. Yeah, I'm super excited, and so I do apologize for the craziness of this video. I really did try my best to share everything, but in the past 2 years we've moved twice. I started not just one business but two businesses. We bought our home this year. We got a puppy, which I don't think I've ever showed you guys, so I'm excited to introduce you to him. And so yeah, I really hope that this vlog encourages you guys, or any of you that has gone or is currently going through a season where things have been put on pause and you think that it's the end. So I just really am here to encourage you that that is not true, because God is always preparing. So yeah, let's get into it. So let's rewind a little bit. This was back in January. We had just moved from a 1-bedroom apartment to a 2-bedroom apartment because I started my ceramic business, which I will be showing you guys in this video, and I really needed an office for that and the space for it.
If I see one more packing box, I think I might actually cry.
Yeah, so that is exactly why we had to move, and we got our puppy. So I'm really excited to introduce you to him. So let me introduce you guys. Good boy. Okay, we're gonna go outside, Milo, okay? Come on. Let's go. Okay, Milo, you have to sit, okay? Let's see, how does Milo sit? Sit. Good boy. Stay. Okay? We're gonna show our YouTube fam how we are obedient. Okay? Sit and stay. 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 I gotta just make sure that there's no people walking, because if there is, he's gonna go running. Mila, come. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, go do your business. Please don't jump on people. This has been my morning routine with him every morning.
I think you're getting off track. Let's continue with the video, please.
Yeah, let's get back on track. Anyway, so I ended up starting my ceramic pottery business, whatever you want to call it. I started off on Etsy, and it was called Bible and Biscuits, and I honestly just don't even know. Don't ask me. I don't know when on earth I had the bright idea of starting this business, but it started because I went on a date with my husband, and we went to Color Me Mine, and we started painting these mugs, and I absolutely fell in love with painting, with this whole world of ceramics. I just really fell in love with it. And some of my friends would ask me like, oh, can you make me one as a gift, or can you sell them, or why don't you sell them? And so, you know what, I had the bright idea of turning my hobby into a business. And I know that works for some of you guys. I know that that's what you do and you love that, but I don't really know where I stand on that. But that's what I did. I opened up my Etsy shop, and I started at the, I think 2023, at the end of 2023, and I think it was September. I posted about like 10 of them that I have painted, that I even made, and they sold. So I said, you know what, like, let me try to make them, and I learned how to make them. And it was mostly like Bible verses. It was mostly like a Christian shop. I would get a lot of like quotes and phrases, and I loved being a part of that, of someone's morning, their first cup of coffee. It was super fun, and it's not the end. Obviously, I'm going to be sharing about that, but it did grow beyond what I think I was capable of. And so I really am super grateful, because by the grace of God, it did grow, and it kept on growing. And as you can see, even the packaging started to get a little crazy, because they had to drop it off not at a house but at an apartment on a second floor. So that was getting a little intense, and there was really nothing much that I could do, because that was the situation at the time. And I didn't even have my own kiln at this point. Like, I had to drive all of these pieces to the studio, and they were really delicate pieces, so they would a lot of the times break in transit, and they were not like my pieces or like something that I wanted to do fun. They were customers' orders, and of course, you know, the studio had to prioritize their students, so sometimes I wasn't getting my mugs back for like a month and a half, which is obviously, I understand, they got to put their studio and their students first, and so that was really not convenient for me, and so it was really frustrating, but I had to work with that. I had to, because I had to first prove that this could work. And so once that happened, once I got my killing, which I was so excited when I finally got my killing, because I feel like at that point I was able to have control. And all of these videos that you guys are seeing, like, you know, guys don't understand how many times I vlogged and I tried to put up YouTube videos of like a day in my life as pottery girly, or as a day in my life as a ceramicist, or as whatever. Like, there were so many times that I tried to film, but it was just so busy. Like right now I'm showing you guys a clip of what my reality was, because I don't have my own studio. I had an office and an apartment, and I had to connect the kiln on the back of my stove, because that was what the electrician, and you know, it's not just a regular like little thing, it's something extremely dangerous, so I had to plug it in, meaning I couldn't even cook.
Oh girl, please, when have you even cooked?
While I was burning, and mind you, killing is a long process, so it was 4 days of not having a stove. It was 4 days of you know, a firing, and it was very hectic. So I really tried to get so many videos up, but I really just couldn't. So here I am showing you guys an overall of some of the vlogs and clips that I actually tried and attempted many times to record for you guys. At the beginning of this year in January, I suffered from many panic attacks, because it was just more than I could handle, like more than my 2 hands. And people would ask me like, why don't you hire? But that would take me more time to teach them, and I was getting orders every single day, and people would ask like, why don't you just make orders every single day? Like, if you do that, you would catch up. But that's not really how it works, because for example, on Monday I will get, like, let's say 20 orders, and I don't just make one order, I make them in a batch. Like, I make them in batches. So when on Monday, if I got 20 orders on Monday, I'm forming the body. Then on Tuesday I am attaching handles. The 3rd day I'm waiting for them to dry. On the 4th day I'm sponging. 5th day I'm painting. That takes so long because they're very detailed painting. They're very tedious. Sometimes they're stripes, they're checkered, there are lots of fruits, they're 3D pieces, and so they would take a long time. So by Friday, I was getting that. Let's say I got 20 orders every single day. On Friday, I just finished the first batch, and on Friday I already have 4 batches that I'm behind on doing. They came to bother me. They're not allowed.
We're the kings of this house.
They're not allowed in my office.
Look at him, he's the king of the house.
Do not disturb.
My king of the house.
Meanwhile, I'm painting, trying to work and trying to focus, but
you didn't even work.
they're trying to bother me.
Who's outside?
Anyway, it got to a point where my body started breaking out into hives. Like I mentioned already, I started getting panic attacks because I was trying to work and get customers' orders out and vlog for you guys, and yeah, it was just way too much, and I ended up gaining a lot of weight during this process because there was just so much stress that I was going through. And you know, God confronted me like that. He checked me so quick. I was just sitting there literally working. I was very overworked because I was working 12-hour shifts, and God was like, do you want to know why you're so like stressed and burnt out? And I was like, yes, Lord, I would love to know why I'm so burnt out. And he said, because you're being prideful. And I was like, oh, to the way my jaw had to be picked up. I said, what? He goes, yeah, like, do you think that you are greater than me? And I was like, what? Of course, never. I would never think that. Why would you say something like that? He was like, well, yeah, I created the whole earth. I created the entire world, and I took a break. I took a Sabbath. I rested. And yeah, when I tell you that moment, like that conviction right there, yeah, that's when I was like, you know what? God, you're so right. Like, I need to rest. Like, I need to take a Sabbath. So that's what I did. I started being super intentional with my Sabbath. I started joining the prayer meetings at my church, into intercession, connecting into that. And I just started being really intentional with my walk with Christ, like in the Word, not like, oh, I have 10 minutes, but genuinely like in deep with the Lord. And it was in that moment where I started feeling like that shift. Like, I feel like God was shifting me.
Making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil.
Churches that we were in when we've been hurt, Father God, I pray for the healing of our hearts, Father God, of trusting each other, of laying ourselves.
And surely you're not. My husband and I, we were talking about it, and we ended up like talking about this next business, which was the staging business. But in that moment, like, I couldn't comprehend another, like, adding one more thing to my plate. I just couldn't comprehend it. But it's so funny because I actually, deep down, I felt like God was telling me yes, like, don't close that door. But it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense because you would think, like, usually, like, wisdom, common sense, wisdom will tell you, focus on one thing and excel in that. And, you don't have to do everything and you're not meant to do everything. But in that moment, I genuinely felt like God was saying, take this opportunity, but I couldn't understand. And so literally, like, once I agreed to this, I was just trying to be obedient. Once I agreed to this, Etsy actually changed their policy, and it ended up becoming like Amazon. The customers just wanted to get the item for free. And so yeah, eventually there were so many cases open that Etsy ended up shutting me down, which is when I realized, oh yeah, they could shut you down at any moment. So I said absolutely not. And I realized, you know what, it's the time to open up my own website and sell it on my own. And so thankfully, if I wouldn't have agreed to the staging, I would basically be not like I would have crashed out. I would have definitely crashed out. And it made sense. I understood now why God told me to say yes. And so that is how the staging company began. And yeah, you guys, that's basically it for today's video. I am really excited for what's to come. I'm so excited to show you guys what's coming up on this channel, for like videos like a day in my life as a ceramicist, a day in my life doing pottery, a day in my life as a home stager, as an interior decorator. I'm so excited to show you guys all of that, and all of the Christian vlogs, and all of those. Even like this clip that you guys are seeing right now, these are some of the properties that we've staged already. And so it'll be really cool to show you guys the behind the scenes of all of this. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm so grateful for you guys, and if you've even stuck around to the end of this video. But yeah, just don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. But yes, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.